There was some big news that came out this week from the game industry. I can't remember exactly. Oh no, last week's big news.
E3 was last week, so yeah, there was some pretty big news
One
last
thing
week.
Microsoft changed their whole little policy around it. It's like,
I think everyone's heard of that already.
yeah, but still, like,
Can you call it butthurt if it's like rightly so?
it wasn't right. Why did they do it in the first?
No.
place?
If you're right in being
They were getting
butthurt.
butthurt.
If
Who?
you're
Microsoft.
no.
butthurt about their
Well, I mean,
stuff.
technically everybody was getting butthurt.
I think
But
everyone's
no,
getting
what I
butthurt
mean
about
is,
Microsoft. I think everyone. Yeah, everyone.
but
involved.
what I mean is, if your legitimate concerns are what's being butthurt is the reason for your butthurt. Is it still being butthurt?
I don't know. What do you
call it?
What do you literally define? If you had to put it in a dictionary, what would you define butthurt as?
When your butt hurts.
When your butthurt from a certain activity. From a certain activity.
And I'll show you what butt hurt is.
No, I shall go show you dildo penetrator. It shall pierce your soul. It shall show you butthurt like none you've ever seen.
I got my ass plugged in.
Oh, you thought you knew butthurt. You didn't.
No, but I don't know. Like, I think that every I think everyone in the situation was kind of getting butthurt. I'm still getting butthurt because you don't know what we would do. You don't know.
That's what I mean.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean. Is butthurt is just getting upset over nothing. But you can't call that butthurt.
Was getting butthurt.
But you can't call it butthurt for the consumers because it was a legitimate complaint.
No, they were still getting butthurt over it. Like, there were people who were just like trading. When you have people who are
There
trading,
were people voicing their legitimate concerns, and then there were other people who were literally just like almost fanboyism-istic.
But
oh my god, no matter what they do from this point on are wrong.
No, well, okay. You had four people in the situation. You had the people who were with Microsoft, no matter what they said. You know what? Yeah, it doesn't affect me, but I like the 360. I like Xbox more because I hate the PlayStation and everything they stand for. Then you had the people who were like, I like Microsoft. Well, I guess it's five people. So you people, I like Microsoft, but you know what? Fuck them. They never should have done this. Right here, that's me. I'll gladly admit that they never should have done this. I'm gonna go to PS4 because they made the wrong move, and I'm not gonna pay for it. Then you had the people who I also kind of fall into this category, where look, this is a bad move. Why is this a bad move? Is PlayStation legitimately better? Like, PlayStation does have the PS4 does have its downsides. I will say that. Like, I think one of them is requiring PlayStation Plus for online play. Well, it's not entirely a bad service.
Well, each one of them do it.
Yeah, they both do it now. But like with Sony, just completely like, hey, look, now you have to have it. It's not entirely a bad service, not entirely a bad business model. But like, if it would have been a gradual step up, like, hey, at first we're only going to charge $25 a year.
Well, that's kind of what they. Well, in a way, they introduced the system with the PS3 and said it's optional, and then allowed people to realize just how great it is.
Yes, and
which it's a great thing.
We went through the games you can get for free earlier, and it's like chock full of good stuff. There's 64 games for $1,000. That's over $1,000 in games.
And it's some good stuff.
Really good games, like the
Spec Ops The Line.
I mean, what else is on there? Oh, Demon's Soul. But you also look at where they had. They also did other things, such as with their new console too, that they're not completely, they're not completely innocent in this situation. The original prognosis was that Sony was not going to allow used games. They were going to have DRM. Obviously, they don't, and that's a good thing. But the rumors.
That was a really early rumor too. So.
Well, yeah, but why was it a rumor in the first place? Like, why did they file a patent?
Well, it was like an industry-wide rumor.
They filed it. Sony filed a patent for DRM last summer. There was a couple other things that PlayStation 4 did that really kind of irked me. That I was kind of like, but I'd have to look them up again.
That's the face of butthurt right there.
I put them. No, the face of butthurt is.
That doesn't look like remotely look like you're taking anything. There we go. That's much better.
So,
more of a shocked, confused.
So that's the third person. The third person was the person who was looking at both sides, saying, "Yes, this side's bad, but this side's not innocent either." I made a post somewhere on Facebook, but I'd have to go look through and find out exactly what I said. But there was like three major things. One being of which like, oh, I don't like the whole share button. Hey, look.
I think the worst thing that I have ever heard someone say start a sentence with is, "Here, let me look through my Facebook posts first."
No, I said it wasn't. It's not a Facebook post. I had to look for it.
Wait, so you don't like the share button, or people don't like the share button?
I don't like the fact. I also don't like a touchpad. I think that's gonna be in some games very poorly. I think we're gonna see a few games that use a touchpad to say, "Oh, hey, open this door." Swipe, swipe, swipe. But I have to press these buttons while I. Done. For example, if they make another God of War game, I see that as being a part of it. Calling it now.
Well, because that could be part of the sequence, the action sequences.
Okay.
Like you've
Press
got to like arc,
all these
or
buttons.
you've got to.
Press all these buttons, and then swipe, and then do this little.
The heck?
That's
The
the
heck
side
is-
quest that we were on.
No, you are in the background going up and down, or I am in the background going up and down. That is weird. About snowing, everybody.
Yes, you've already pointed
That's
out
the cat.
today.
Well, this is probably going to be like another video, so.
But then you look at the server. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a nice idea. But when you can also use it to have your friends effectively play a video game for you on your console, then we're getting a little out. Like no.
Well, wasn't the way I understood the share
But
button
what
was
if
that
you're
you
forever
could
alone?
take like gameplay footage that you
take
did,
game-
and then
What it is, you press the button, and supposedly it pops up a menu that says
you can record.
you can record, you can take screenshots, and whatever it is. And when you're done, you choose what you want to post it to your Imgur, your Facebook, your Twitter,
YouTube, hopefully
Reddit.
Hopefully YouTube, because that's what I've got.
Hopefully YouTube. YouTube would be nice. But
Hells yeah.
supposedly there's also an extra menu in that you can see your friends online, and they can watch you, or you can go watch your friends. And if your friend wants help, that's watching you, you can ping them. Control the character goes to them for however long you want to go to
We'll
them
call
for.
it tech support.
Effectively. Well, no.
All right, I'm taking
Friend
control of your browser now.
Friend-
Oh my God, everything is going crazy. I shut down the computer.
You said taking control. I mean, assuming direct control. So, like I tell you, that's one of the other bad ideas. It quite irks me a little bit. The fourth type of person we're seeing the Sony fanboys that are saying, I told you Microsoft sucked, look what they're doing.
That's kind of me, because I've been Sony like forever. We've got Sony sound system, Sony TV, Sony
I'm sorry, but for Sony at E3,
PS3. Grant,
Once
that's
Microsoft did
my
what they
brother's
did-
computer.
They had every right.
This
to.
is my bio.
no.
I've got a PSP in there.
PS3. Sony only had to do one thing. Don't screw up.
They weren't.
They could have walked out, just said, "This is our price."
Nothing looked more
This is
evident
what
that
my
they
iPad
weren't.
buy, and would have left and packed up everything, and would have been a resounding victory.
Nothing looked more
They could've
evident
said
that they
nothing.
weren't thinking about the consumers than DRM.
Even EA and Ubisoft got rid of their DRM policies. Come on, Microsoft, did you not see
Yeah,
that?
so many people knew about it, and so many people knew what it was that they couldn't just fly it under the radar.
It wasn't something, and it's like, this obviously was a premeditated act. It's a premeditated act, it was,
Yeah, they were thinking about
like,
it.
because this was an issue, the whole DRM thing was an issue since their press conference. People were voicing their opinions on it since their press conference. And I did remember the third thing that I did not like about the PlayStation 4. There's no, like, they say they do indie support, which is good. You can be your own self-publisher. I'd like to see them moderate that a bit, because right now there's porn games on Xbox Live. And there's also chat with your friend games that are $1. Yes, you get a game, and all it does is it loads up a chat session, and it has your avatar dancing around the background.
Yeah.
And the porn games just show nudie pics, just on a screen show, or a slideshow.
And it's your job to not to fall for that BS.
Well, it's still I'd rather not be on there, because then it gives indie game developers a bad name.
It's like the most expensive app on the stores, where you pay like $9,999 and all you
No,
get
this
is
is basically
some kind of crystal thing in the
Yeah.
background.
Oh,
That's guns.
Yes, our
are cool.
conversations are actually quite boring. Yeah.
So then when but there's on top of that, there's also no, like, Microsoft has their XNA Studio to allow for indie game developers, right? Where Sony is out there. Like, there's one that apparently you can request to get from them, but there's not actually a direct download. Like, hey, here it is, free of charge, just download it. You have to send a request or like email or something and get a link from them. And it's like, Well,
So when they say that it's easy to use by developers, it's easy to use by developers, but it's not necessarily available to
well,
just
we
anybody.
also don't know if that's going to stay because a lot of indie games actually won't be coming out for it until next summer. We might, hopefully, when it launches and people actually start to get hardware in their hands, because the way it works, if you actually want to test a game on the console, like yeah, you can test on a laptop or your desktop or whatever your computer. You can test in the IDE, but if you actually want to test it and like say put it to the console, you have to have a physical copy of the console. And if every indie game developer out there wants an early physical copy, no, it's not gonna fly. So it's probably gonna be like they're gonna release it with the console out to public free to share. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully they have good documentation too, because XNA has terrible documentation. Unless you buy the book on how to use it, there is no documentation. Kind of a sad truth. And then, yeah, we sidetrack a lot too. Back to the fifth type of person. Fifth type of person is the people who are just butthurt around the entire situation, just want to shit on everything.
They just want to be butthurt.
PC gamers. Well,
The master race.
No. PC gamers can fill in the rest of it.
They'll tell you they're
These
above it
people-
and they don't care.
These people are the people who just want to troll for the sake of trolling. Like, there's no reason for them to troll. They just like trolling. They just say, oh, you did this. You did that.
The meaning
I'm
of
angry,
life.
they're just dumping on it.
The meaning of life is trolling. So, you live to troll.
So,
That is the
it
meaning of
does
life.
like, I mean, really, that's kind of what we saw with last week. And then their whole, like, hey, we these guys, and then, like, fucking go back on their word and all that other shit. But, you know, it's at a point in time where, honestly, we're going to see what happens.
In bullet points, it all could have been handled a whole lot better.
Yeah?
And it wasn't.
Well, they should have, like...
Because people were out there talking about frame rates that they were able to run.
Oh yeah, Bonnie Ross. For those of you who don't know who Bonnie Ross is.
Fish didn't move. 0 out of
Fish
10.
didn't move. Who saw this coming? No, good idea.
For those of you who don't know, Bonnie Ross is the CEO of 343 Industries, who is now in charge of the Halo franchise. Effectively, what happened is half the team at Old Bungie went through and said, "Hey, who wants to work on Halo?" Everyone who wanted to work on Halo raised their hand, and they said, "Okay, follow me. We're going back to our old office." They made 343. Fine, whatever. But their CEO, Bonnie Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a winner right here. Oh, hootenanny, look at her stepping on up.
She's putting on the big boy pants. The big girl pants.
I mean, I don't know her personally, so this is not a personal attack or anything. It's just, I kind of like to meet her just so I could, like, better judge
Pick her brain
sense
and,
of
you know,
intelligence. But she was standing on stage at E3 announcing Halo 5 and announcing the Halo TV series that they had already announced at the Xbox Live reveal, which...
we'll get to that later.
I like Halo. I liked Halo since day one. Halo 4 was good, but that's where it had to end. That's where it had to end. There's no two ways about that. It had to end there. Anyway, she gets on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. 60 frames a second. Thank me later.
60
Thank
frames.
me later.
Our game
Seriously,
will run.
60 frames per second. My laptop that I got moving into college, which was a business line laptop for Dell, could do that. Yeah, it was circa 2008, but a business line laptop could handle 60 frames per second. When you have laptops, mind you, coming out now, they can handle 150 frames per second. Don't go bragging to me about 60. I don't want to fucking hear that bullshit. 60?
It's a big deal, guys. It's kind of a big deal.
I don't know what to do with myself. 10 out of 10.
Scream real loud at my ass.
Alright, don't everybody cream themselves all at once now.
Yeah, Tom.
Well, you folks got a towel.
The thing about it is that, why the fuck is this a big deal? Why the fuck is 60 frames per second a big fucking deal? And for the people who say, yeah, well, but this game can only run at 30 frames per second in the current generation. Well, the current generation is running with hardware from 2004, 2005. We're looking at hardware from 2013.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the shit that's coming in the PS4 and XBOX One is probably better than most people's PCs are gonna go buy in a store.
I doubt that. Okay, most people
Death stare.
gaming PCs, they're not gonna hold a candle to. But
No,
normal
no,
PCs,
they're gonna be. They.
You know what, Salvador?
They're gonna be.
I don't care what you think. Sorry, had to do
that's
that.
the problem. He's so bored. He's probably starting to think.
I don't. He's like, wait,
No,
my decisions are starting to unravel on me.
Their whole gaming, the whole gaming PCs this year and the consoles will probably be pretty on par. But that's just preliminary judging. We're about to see new NVIDIA cards come out, and supposedly they're making better processing
I
units come
supremely
out.
doubt,
Really.
like, okay, top of the line stuff,
No.
like stuff you pay out the nose for, is going to blow away with everything.
Oh yeah, but that's always gonna happen though. Like we're looking at a good, good high grade model for the consoles at $400 for a PS4 and $500 for an Xboner. 180.
180. Yeah.
An Exponent 180.
Yes, because it's fucking you and fucking you and fucking you again. And then it's gonna pull another.
And then it turns around and does it again.
Oh, warning! Microsoft's gonna do another turnaround for anyone who wants to buy the fucking Xbox One. Dude, your arm's going back on.
And then we'll go back to the.
My bullshit sense is tingling.
We'll reminisce about the glory days, and it'll burn holes in discs again.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll remember the glory days of unwrapping the 360 and saying, OMG guys, 10 gigabyte hard drive.
Wait. I know there was one hole in the center of the disc, but there's another one now. What is this, guys?
What is this?
What is this?
So, I think...
You gotta ask yourself, what am I willing to put up with today?
Not Xbox.
fucking this.
So, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, the other question I have too is, what the fuck could Microsoft actually keep their damn DRM? Keep the DRM on digital games?
Yeah, you should explain that, because the point is, the
I
DRM
need to sit
is
down for this one.
all right. To anybody who's a little behind the curb, DRM
I don't think
is
we're going to play
when you buy a disc, you buy a game for the Xboner, you put it in the system, and then it automatically writes that disc to that system so that you cannot use that disc on any other Xboners. It will only work in one Xboner, and that's the one you put it in. That's what a DRM is.
Well, DRM is digital.
That's what it stands for.
Effectively what DRM is. DRM is a publisher's way of controlling content. That publisher says, oh, this person.
It's what it stands for. It's what it meant to do.